It started as a routine checkpoint. But what officers found at Kurupukari, a remote crossing over the Esequibo River, has shaken the country and ignited whispers of a much deeper, hidden network. 3 underage girls, 2 suspicious trucks, and 4 adults who said too little, too late. According to insiders close to the investigation, this wasn't a random incident. It was a carefully timed move by authorities who had received a tip-off days before. But where did that tip come from? And why was this specific route under surveillance? Sources suggest that the Kurupukari checkpoint was being monitored not just by local law enforcement, but by higher-level intelligence linked to international trafficking task forces. One officer reportedly said, off the record, "We've been following this route for months. We knew they'd try to move girls through there. We just didn't know it would be this soon." The 3 girls, all believed to be minors, were found in the back of one of the trucks, visibly shaken and disoriented. Authorities believe they were en route to an illegal work site, or possibly across the border. What's most alarming is that officials suspect these girls are just the tip of the iceberg. And here's where the conspiracy deepens. Investigators have linked this case to a known property reportedly owned by a prominent public figure, rumored to have financial ties to several entertainment venues in Georgetown and on the interior mining trails. While police have remained tight-lipped about identities, many are questioning how far up the chain this goes, and whether some of those sworn to protect the public might actually be part of the pipeline. In 2024 alone, Guyana recorded 416 human trafficking victims, a disturbing number for a country of its size. Though government initiatives have stepped up support services, providing shelter, financial assistance, and counseling for survivors, the networks seem to evolve faster than the law can catch up. What started as a checkpoint now looks like a crack in the wall of a larger operation. The 4 detained suspects remain in custody, but the public is demanding more. More arrests, more transparency, and more answers. Because this isn't just about 4 people in 2 trucks. It's about the silent machinery behind it all. The kind of machinery that doesn't operate unless someone with power is turning the gears. The conspiracy? It's not a theory. Anymore, it's a pattern. Locals in the Kurupukari region claim they've seen these trucks before, quietly crossing at odd hours, always guarded, never questioned. Some even believe there's an unspoken safe passage agreement in place between traffickers and certain corrupt officials. You don't move kids through Guyana without someone in uniform turning a blind eye, one resident told an independent journalist. This has been going on for years. Dig deeper, and more questions surface. Why are some suspected properties, allegedly used to house or process victims, linked to well-known businessmen or former public servants? Why have repeated reports of young girls disappearing in border towns yielded no real investigations? And why, in a country that boasts Tier 1 status in anti-trafficking efforts, are victims still slipping through the cracks? Even more unsettling, internal leaks hint that some of the rescued girls may have been moved multiple times before being intercepted, suggesting coordination, not chaos. The silence at the top. The government has issued a brief statement promising a full investigation, but critics argue that's not enough. Where are the names, the property records, the connection to the entertainment industry, which has long been whispered to serve as a front for trafficking? Some believe this entire operation may have been deliberately exposed by whistleblowers inside the system, people tired of watching children vanish while their superiors do nothing. If that's true, this checkpoint may not just be a bust. It may be the spark that blows the lid off a trafficking empire built right into the foundations of Guyanese society. The question now is, Who will fall next? Because someone has to, and everyone's asking, will it be the middlemen who transported the girls? The bar and club owners who operate under the radar in city hotspots? Or will it be someone bigger, someone untouchable? Behind closed doors, names are being whispered. Names tied to real estate, to politics, to entertainment, to law enforcement. There's talk of a blacklist, a list of powerful figures allegedly involved or complicit in this dark trade. Former trafficking victims, now safe and slowly regaining their voices, have begun identifying patterns. Similar vehicles, reused safe houses, repeated clients, and, more chillingly, familiar uniforms. If that list exists, and it leaks, it could send shockwaves through Guyana's elite. Careers would end overnight, businesses would crumble, and some very well-known faces might suddenly disappear, either into hiding or behind bars. But here's the real question. Will the system allow them to fall? This is where the conspiracy becomes dangerous. What if the reason so few trafficking cases make it to conviction is because the rot goes higher than anyone wants to admit? What if justice is just a mask, and behind it are years of cover-ups, bribes, and buried reports? Already, suspicious patterns are emerging. Files gone missing. Witnesses transferred without explanation. Prosecutors reassigned. And social media accounts that tried to expose the truth? Suddenly deleted. The people are watching now, and they're angry. They want to know, who signed off on letting these girls be moved across regional borders? Why were complaints from local villages ignored for so long? Who owns the trucks? And most importantly, who was supposed to protect these children? Because if there's one thing more dangerous than those who traffic in bodies, it's those who protect them from the shadows. The fall has to happen. And when it does, it won't just be a collapse. It'll be an avalanche. But only if the truth is allowed to surface.